Hey there, I'm Kristen Boyle, yoga therapist and somatic coach, and I'm here to talk to you about breathing and how it ties in with the pelvic floor and pelvic floor health. And this is especially vital, well, it's vital for everybody, but for women and particularly mothers if you've had a birth, whether it's through cesarean section or vaginal birth. Connecting to your pelvic floor is so important. Knowing that it's not about doing Kegels and squeezing the pelvic floor and getting it the strongest thing possible, but it's very subtle. And you can create change in your body. You can create change in your mind, in your state of being, simply by connecting to this breath. So if you haven't already watched my previous videos on first how to sit in a yoga class for meditation, for breath work, second, how to breathe. So watch those two videos and then come back to this one where we're going to get a little bit more subtle and breathe into the pelvic floor. All right, so do you have your props? So in the last video, I showed you how to sit cross-legged on your prop. I recommend that almost everybody sits on a prop. I have very open, flexible hips, and I still don't sit on the floor. Not when I'm sitting for a length of time, and sitting in such a way that I am wanting to work therapeutically and healing, which is what we're doing. All right, so I am sitting on the block in Virasana, or hero's pose. So if you can't see, my knees are in front of me, straight out from my hip bones, not out to the side, but straight forward. My heels are on the outside edges of my hips. And then I have a block underneath my sitting bones so I can sit tall. So remember our concept. Pelvis is the bowl. You want it to be level, not tipped forward, not tipped back. And this is especially vital for women because our pelvis does tend to tilt forward naturally. And if you are mobile in the hips, hamstrings, all of this area of the body, then you will have a tendency to tip forward. If you're tighter, you'll have a tendency to tip under. And so to get into pelvic floor work, we need to be straight up and down. You can also lie on your back, just as a caveat. You can lie on your back with your feet flat, knees up. As much as you can, feet are wide, knees knocked together, so you've got a place where you can relax, and that's important. So then we have the lampshade of the rib cage that stacks over the bowl. If you're lying on your back, it's done for you, so you don't need to worry about that. Chin is level, little balloon through the crown of your head. Again, if you're lying on your back, that work is done for you. All right. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Bring your hands to your rib cage, soften your shoulders, and find that 360-degree breath. Side of the ribs, back of the ribs. Breathe in and out. It's subtle. The movement is not huge or deep. Notice if you are tending to breathe or tense through the chest, the collarbones, or the neck. And as much as you can, relax, release, relax, release, breathe. When you've got that, bring hands to thighs. So again, paying attention to the ribs moving 360 degrees, super important. And I'm going to layer this practice. The diaphragm, well, it's a diaphragm, right? As you breathe in, it becomes concave like a bowl, it descends, and as you breathe out, it ascends. And even use your hand. Notice, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now, layering onto that, as you inhale, the diaphragm descends into the abdominal cavity. So from that opening of your ribcage, pushes down, and it pushes down on all your inner organs. This is why breathing is closely linked to healthy digestion. You must breathe here, not here. All right, so breathe in. Maybe you feel a subtle pressure downwards. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe Now the next layer, your pelvic floor, is another diaphragm. So if I have both diaphragm and pelvic floor here, as I breathe in, as I breathe out, as I breathe in, as I breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Do you see how they're working together? As I inhale, the diaphragm descends into the abdominal cavity, which gently presses down on the pelvic floor. As I exhale, all of it releases back. It descends, gentle pressure. Exhale, comes back. All right, so now we get into the heart of the matter, working with the pelvic floor and toning, natural toning. There are different ways to work with the pelvic floor. Of course, if you are working with some pelvic floor dysfunction, you will want to work with a PT or someone who's very skilled and versed in giving you specific exercises. I'm speaking in general to the general public, and this is all of us, right? All of us need this. And so, as you inhale, I want you to release the pelvic floor. As you exhale, tone, tighten, draw it up and in. As you inhale, remember, pressure down, release. As you exhale, gradually tone, tighten, draw it up and in. And this is not forceful. This is not the strongest thing you can do. It's very subtle. Think of it as training your body for the way you want it to function without having to think about it. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then let the breath return to normal, natural, and see if you can maintain a very slight and subtle awareness of what's happening. Thank you for watching. Some of these exercises can be life-changing. Some of them are just exercises, but I believe that it's good, beneficial, healthy, whole for all of us. And I hope that you will join me for more of these tutorials. I really enjoy sharing this knowledge with you. If you would like to take a step closer, please go to my website, sign up for a conversation with me. I help on many levels. I'm a yoga therapist and a somatic coach. So really what we do is we use the physical body to access the psycho-emotional, spiritual aspects of yourself, trauma healing, recovery after life-changing events, or simply just connecting to your authentic self if you feel like you've lost it or you're stuck somewhere. I'm happy to help you. Come talk to me. Just take one step closer. Thank you for joining me.